Hi, this is Erica with the Teen Department at Columbus Public Library.
And this is Keyshawn in Adult Services.
Welcome to our Voter Education Series, Part 3, the Presidency, Congress, and Federal Elections.
Today we will cover the powers of the President, the presidential elections in the Electoral College, the powers of Congress, Congressional Elections, election calendars, and resources once again.
So, what exactly does the President do? They're head of state and commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces. They're responsible for implementing and enforcing the laws passed by Congress. They have unlimited power to extend pardons and clemencies for federal crimes. They have the power to sign in legislation or veto bills enacted by Congress. They can receive ambassadors. They appoint the head of federal agencies, including the cabinet, and they nominate district court judges, Court of Appeals judges, and Supreme Court justices.
Presidential elections. It's the only election in which every eligible voter can take part. Citizens don't vote for president, they vote for a team of electors. These electors then vote on behalf of the state for a few weeks later. Each state chooses its electors. Anyone except federal employees or members of Congress is eligible. Each state gets one elector for every senator, that's 2 for every state, as well as 1 for each representative, which is proportional to its population. These electors each get 1 vote. It takes 270 electoral votes out of 538 to become president.
What happens when the Electoral College goes wrong? A candidate can win the popular vote and lose the Electoral College. Examples include Rutherford B. Hayes in 1876, Benjamin Harrison in 1888, George W. Bush in 2000, and Donald Trump in 2016. Twice in history, nobody won a majority of the Electoral College, so the House of Representatives had to choose the president. This happened for Thomas Jefferson in 1800 and John Quincy Adams in 1824. In more than 20 states, the electors don't have to vote the way states voters want. These are called faithless electors.
Presidential elections. In the beginning, each state usually had the state legislators pick electors. This was not democratic, and it was changed to a system where people vote for the president, but then the electors vote the same way most of the time. The Electoral College makes nearly every state a winner-take-all prize, so electoral vote totals can make races look a lot less close than they actually are. This is known as the landslide effect.
What does Congress do? Collect taxes to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. Regulate commerce, coin money, borrow money on credit for the United States. Try and impeach federal officers. Approve presidential appointments. Initiate constitutional amendments. Declare war and approve treaties with foreign nations. Ability to override presidential vetoes. And pass legislation.
Passing laws. How does a law get passed? A member of Congress introduces a bill. Both houses have to pass their versions of the bill. In each body, members are assigned to specific committees which branch off into smaller subcommittees. Whichever political party has control of that chamber decides who is in charge of each committee. When a bill is introduced, it goes to a subcommittee to be reviewed and edited. If a majority can agree on a version of the bill, then it goes to the full committee, which will also edit and make changes. The vast majority of bills never get past the initial committee stage.
3. It goes before the whole House or Senate for a vote. The floor vote has to be scheduled by House or Senate leadership. One way to kill a bill the leadership doesn't like is to simply delay scheduling it or to never schedule it at all. 4. If passed by one chamber, it must pass the other, and then the 2 passed versions are merged into a final bill. A committee of senators and representatives works together to produce a final version. This process is called reconciliation. 5. Finally, the House of Representatives and Senate must vote again to approve this final version. 6. It is given to the President for a signature. If the President chooses to veto, it will have to obtain a 2/3 majority vote in both houses to override the presidential veto. Congressional elections. Midterm elections have a much lower voter turnout than presidential elections. The coattails effect is when a president is particularly popular, that popularity usually helps members of the same party running for other offices. Straight ticket is choosing candidates from the same party for all offices on the ballot. A split ticket is when you choose candidates from more than one party on the ballot. Despite the perception that America is polarized, ticket splitting isn't uncommon in the United States. For example, in 2012, 5 Democratic senators won seats in states where Mitt Romney defeated Barack Obama.
Congressional elections. Members of the House are elected to 2-year terms. They all run in every national election, meaning every 2 years the party in power can be replaced. The incumbent is usually re-elected. However, in 1894, 111 seats changed party in one day out of 357. The Senate can never be replaced all at once. They are elected to 6-year terms. Only 1/3 of the Senate runs for elections at the same time. Seats are assigned to one of 3 classes, Class 1, 2, and 3, and those groups alternate. The 2 senators for each state are in different classes. Voters cannot replace both of their senators at once. Every 4 years, on the day the country picks the president, it also picks all 435 members of the House and 1/3 of the Senate. How exciting is that?
Here's the 2020 state elections and voter registration calendar. Please note that for the November 3rd, 2020 presidential election, the voter registration deadline is October 5th, 2020. Here are some resources on the executive branch and the legislative branch, as well as how congressional elections work and how the Electoral College works. Here are some links to different government websites and federal agencies, so you get an idea of the wide range of tasks that the federal government does.